Welcome back, my awesome niche, um, beautiful community that I've yet to build yet. Um, Welcome back. Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be talking about vulnerability. We're gonna get so vulnerable here. We're gonna get so vulnerable. Oh my God. I feel like it's super important to touch upon this topic. Mostly because I wanted to make this video because I seen another video on Instagram. I'm following him on Instagram, and his name is The Marshall Show. And I watch his videos a lot, and his videos makes my day 1,000 times better. But when I seen that video, I had way more respect for him than what I already did, and it only resonated with me because my ex, don't want to shout her out or nothing, but don't want to shout her out or anything, or really put my business out there. But I've had a hard time with not similar onto his level. It's not not entirely what he went through, but she just aired out all my insecurities, to make a long story short, and just kind of squashed in all of my feelings that I had, all my fears, all my sorrows, and this is not a video to make revenge on her or anything. It's just literally to bring awareness to mostly young men of my age and up, and just to bring awareness and to say that you're not alone in something like this. This shit is crazy out here, you know what I mean? But let's get into the official definition, by the way. So, vulnerability, the quality or state of being exposed to the possibility of being attacked or harmed, whether it's physical or emotional. Nobody likes being in a vulnerable position, unless you're getting freaky or whatever. The greatest example I can give, or like metaphor, is that somebody with armor, some of the greatest armor known to man, like this armor is top notch. Nobody can pierce it, and nothing can get past it. But then there's another guy who has the same exact armor. He challenges the guy, and he knows how to get through that armor. You know what I mean? And then it makes the first knight, or the first guy, knight, whatever, feel vulnerable. He knew my weaknesses, but I just like an overconfident guy getting butt hurt by like the simplest criticism. Back to me. Sorry. Back to Marshall. Back to my experience. How it even came to be was that I acted like somebody I wasn't, or I just really hid myself, which you're not really supposed to do in a relationship or with anybody. But I put a mask on, sort of. You know what I mean? I hid away. I hid from not only her but myself, and it took me a while to really it took me a while to bring down those walls, and I'm sorry, I feel like I'm moving the mic just everywhere. It took me a minute because all those times I tried to be vulnerable, all those times I tried to connect with her, something else would happen, and I put my walls back up again. And it's a pretty common mechanism, defense mechanism, blah 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 blah. And that's what I hear from a lot of my friends or family or other people, the wall technique, and it's just human nature, you can't fault yourself for that, or for your partner neither, if you have a partner who has trust issues or something, and they have walls. It's just the other nigga's fault. That's really all it is. Um, but it also it's up to them to work on themselves and to get those walls down with you. You know what I mean? Or whatever person. I don't know. Again, I'm no therapist. I'm no psychologist. I am nothing. I am literally just a nerdy 20-year old that has been through some shit. And I feel like we just got to talk about it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what I want to do. I want to talk about it. I feel like it's important. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of some people in this generation, in this day and age, just doesn't want to talk about certain things and be vulnerable. But back to my story. I didn't feel comfortable sometimes, and neither did she. And that's again, we were just two broken souls, really, two just broken hearts who got together and sang. There weren't any good times. There were good times. There were amazing times. There were times I would never forget. But there are also um, a lot of times where I can't forget because I was at my most vulnerable, or I was at my lowest, and she's already seen it, and there was no point to having a wall up to defend myself, and then you just kind of apologize for whatever you did, and that's no way to live, you know. Um, again, she just aired out all my business to me and just threw it back in my face, and that was the last time I've ever spoken to her ever again. It's been about what 2 years now from the whole incident, and you know, um, it wasn't easy over excuse me, what am I trying to say? It wasn't easy trying to conquer that feeling, that that trauma, and even when I tried to move on, I couldn't, and I just had to. I had to sit there and really tackle it myself. Or I had to sit there with myself and essentially comfort myself, because I've told some other people and they kind of just hit me with, "Oh, wow, yeah, that's tough, man, dude, help me, help me, man. I just went through a psychological warfare, and you're telling me that's tough shit, like." um, I just, I guess I grieved. I guess I grieved the relationship and our time, and I try and see why she did it. You know, like why would she air out all my stuff and throw it back in my face, and I don't know. I mean, again, I just chop it up to us being two broken souls that just met at the wrong time. You know, so I obviously got better. I got better with myself, and I'm I'm proud of who I am now. You live and you learn. You learn how to take and roll with the punches, and you just learn from your mistakes. You learn that you will never have anybody do that to you ever again. Um, you I try to work on having, big defensive walls that nobody can pierce, but at the same time, being able to bring those down at the right time for the right people who need to hear it, you know. Um, I just feel like the story of mine. I'm explaining my story very vague and not much detail, mostly because I don't want my business on the internet. The main thing is that you want to learn how to get up from those types of things, and you want to no longer associate people with that, or like the opinion of what people think about it, or like, oh, you're weird for liking anime and collecting plushies and all that shit. Dude, I don't care. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I could be doing drugs. I could be doing hardcore drugs. Like, I'm spending my money on Sonic in One Piece. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is that weird? Why would I buy? You know what I mean? That's what I never got in those types of people who see this type of stuff as weird, and then you feel insecure about what you're vulnerable about. You know what I mean? Like how everybody was hating on anime back then, and then all of a sudden, oh what, bro? I watch My Hero, bro, and then like it's like if you don't watch anime, you're lame. I mean, low key. It just boggles my mind, me personally. But enough about me. The general consensus, the general portion of the world. I can't say too much. I mean, well, the main premise is that nobody likes being vulnerable, obviously, but it's a balance between that. Um, a lot of people see it, especially men, see it as weakness. They see it as a weak point. They see it as a flaw. They hate it, and I necessarily don't. Not in my relationship. I think vulnerability is not necessary, but a little bit needed. You know what I mean? You need it in order to grow with your partner. And again, it doesn't have to be part of your relationship. I don't care. But with men, it has become such a problem. Like it's like oversaturated. You know what I mean? It's like you're having a good day. You're having a good day, right? You're having a great day. You order a Happy Meal. Nigga, fuck what you so happy for? The fuck? My fault? My fault. I want what? My fault. I'm having a good day, and I just never understood that. My pops did that to me. He's like, "Why are you smiling for?" Or like, "Why are you so cheesy for?" Yeah, work. You telling him what's up? Why you cheesing so much? It's just a little shit like that I just never understood. It just boggles my mind. Like, no way you've been living your life this miserable on purpose. Are you serious? And I'm not talking about, and I don't want to talk about my pops. You know what I mean? But there are dudes out there who purposely live miserable, or yeah, purposely live miserable and have this expression on their face where it's like, oh, the stoicism, stoicism, stoicism,
Stoicism.
yeah, that word. It's just like you're not really living life, dude. You're over here proving, just over here being a people pleaser by trying to show everybody that you're hard and you have no emotions. And no, that's weird. You're weird because you're saying that you'd rather be stone cold, no Steve Austin, just be bland. I mean, and then for the people that aren't bland, you want to be this hard dude who doesn't have emotions, but you still want to express yourself. Hey, my niche, awesome community. Almost lost the channel. That's cool, but I was editing the previous video that you're probably watching right now, I just wanted to clear up some things because I was rewatching it and it kind of didn't make any sense for me. So on the part where I was saying stoicism, all that good stuff, it's usually a balance between, you know, tranquility and emotional stability, and not reacting to certain things. I made it sound like to where it was a bad thing to have that. Not necessarily. You can have a percentage of it. I don't believe we should be going a deep dive into it and misunderstanding it as absolutely cutting off your emotions was the main point, what I was trying to say. Because you'll just be like every other weird alpha male influencer dude preaching the wrong stuff. Almost lost the channel. Got it back now. And feeling pretty good. But yeah. Uh, enjoy the video. I will not be showing. Put this clip also in here. Will not be showing the clip from Marshall out of respect for him, because that was a very vulnerable time for him. I'm not gonna just splatter it in my video. So if you want to go check out his video on it, it will be in the description below. So, ciao, man. And I feel like those types of dudes are just too afraid to be vulnerable to express themselves, and it just leads to broken relationships. You can still have that stoicism.
Stoicism.
You can still have that and be able to express yourself. Did I think I said that. I think I said you can't do that earlier. Shut up. Don't listen to me. It's like you have this fear of being vulnerable, and after one arrow, your whole castle's gonna fall, and you can't have that. You got to work on yourself enough, at least enough, to take those punches. I'm not saying it, take it, just take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. You know what I mean? Somebody throws criticism your way, you don't fucking break down and start wanting to fight them and shoot them up and shit. You look at them, you take it, and you're like, yes, I see your opinion, but it's like, why does it matter? Sometimes, like I've been told, again, like what she did to me was probably like some of the worst things somebody has done to me. But it's nothing somebody can really say to me now. You know what I mean? Like, what can I say? Like, oh, you like an enemy is weird. Okay, say that to the next guy right behind me. You're weird for making YouTube videos in your room and shit. Say that to the other nigga that's on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's like, why should we matter? What? Why does it matter? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get on here and talking about my whole family history. Now that's a little much, but you know, being vulnerable to me isn't too bad. At least, you know what I mean? The percentage of it. I don't need to be hearing about how you and your baby mama is about to have a divorce within the next couple of months or something. It's like, son, let it go. Stop going live on Facebook and IG. We don't want to see it. We don't. You know. So, um, I'm trying to think. Is that all my points? I don't know. I feel like this video is kind of short. Um, I feel like this is kind of like a nothing burger because, oh yeah, no shit, dude. We could have found this out millennia ago, dude. Like, we don't need you to sit here and talk to me. And it's like, my fault, gang. I just think some people need this, like, one on one, person to person chat, you know, to let them know that somebody out there knows their pain. Somebody out there knows how they're feeling, like word for word, bar for bar. And it'd just be nice to be recognized sometimes, you know what I mean? At least you know what I mean? Like some of the issues that you're having. It's nice to just, oh, that guy's going through what I went through, or what I'm currently going through, or he's talking about it and giving his views on it, and You know, maybe he agrees with me. I think that is a lot of my main points. Again, the fact that some people are just like, especially women. I don't want to just men. But it's just some people are just so out there of being afraid of being vulnerable emotionally because they've already given that to somebody over and over and over again, and they just keep stomping on it. And I get that as well. But how I would counter that, it was just I would take a break from whether it's relationships, um, family or friends. Try your best to just be by yourself for a little bit. You know, let's regain the trust of yourself first. Then let's look out into the sea and see what's see what sea let's look out into the sea and see like what fish is filled with poison. That was ass. Yeah, I would I don't I get I'm not no therapist. I'm just a guy. I would just keep trying. And I don't mean keep shooting the basket or what? Keep shooting the ball in the basket without any type of accuracy. I would do my research on what? On what? Huh? What are you doing your research on? What am I talking about? I would devise a plan first and just know, like, okay, that person right there is an absolute no to tell anything to. You know what I mean? And hopefully you meet somebody you're able to talk to somebody about. You know? I mean, shit. I hope I'm one of those people. I want to help you guys. I want to help a lot of those people out there who are having trouble. But it gets to a point for some people, and they like me, like I just don't even think about telling that person anything about any problems or any feelings I'm having about a certain issue, because it's always like, bro, if you're not happy, or yeah, if you're not happy, what are you upset about? You know what I mean? Kind of like in a black household, the only emotion that gets taken seriously is anger, and that's a goddamn shame. That's a goddamn shame. Why? Why should anger be the only one that gets taken seriously? I just think we need to eliminate that whole thing so people won't have that fear of their insecurity getting crushed, or even their feelings, even their regular human feelings that they have, and they're just stomped for having the default feelings. You know what I mean? I think it's a damn shame. And you know what? Vulnerability can go way more past than just emotions. It could be moving on to the next level, like getting your own apartment, leveling up in life. You have that confidence to tell somebody that, hey, I'm finally moving out, and they just shit on your whole idea, and it's like, well, damn, dude, you know. So, without a doubt, I know what a lot of people could be going through. Well, I don't want to say that. I guess it would be backwards. I hope you guys know, like, somebody out there feels exactly what you're saying and what you're feeling, or like has the same issue, because it's ridiculous. People are just, I feel like some people are just so afraid of themselves being vulnerable that they have to project that onto you and mess up your whole tower And I just think it's stupid, all because they're scared of just letting those walls down and trying to have a one-on-one with you. Like, hey man, I used to live on my friend's couch from time to time. I just don't want you to do the same whenever you try to move out in the world. That could be as simple as said right there. Like dude, you could have just told me that. But I'm gonna stop yapping and just say the purpose of this video, or I hope what you take away from it, is that it's okay to be vulnerable sometimes. I think I'm too close to the mic. I think it's okay to be vulnerable sometimes. I say whether it's with your partner, with your friends, hopefully with your friends, because your friends, dude, you know what I mean? Like, my day one, shout out to my day one. Hopefully you're able to, at the very least, be vulnerable with your friends. You know what I mean? Let alone your partner. But at the end of the day, we have to meet in the middle of some sort, or be on the same level. And over time, you guys will slowly be more comfortable with each other. And you know what I mean? Like men crying around their girl. Like, bro, I'll sob in my girl's arms. Because why am I hiding that for? Because she thinks I'm gonna be seen as weak. Now that's on her. Because why are you seeing me having a normal emotion being seen as weak? And again, that's just how some people raise their kids, because it all stems back from fear. Maybe somebody hurt them and they just never gonna go back on it. I just think it's a shame that that's how some of these things work, but it's a human survival instinct. So, yeah, I just say, like, vulnerability should be a little more present, especially for the older folks, because how are we gonna have a one-on-one when you can't come out of that bubble or come down from your castle and just come talk to me on the field? That's just how I feel. But and I think that's all I gotta say. Please, I don't want to sound like every other YouTuber. Ew. Comment, subscribe, and smash that like button, guys. Just comment. I would really like to see the comments. Because a lot of days I sit and watch YouTube videos about other people's stories and what they've been through, and you just, at the end of the day, you just really never know what people are going through. And I think people's stories are very cherishable, very valuable, every single one of the stories. So I would like to hear somebody else's, and hopefully we can relate, and we can all kumbaya, bond together, make the world just a little bit better, But I guess you could say that was my vulnerability. Yes, that was my vulnerability, because I'm talking about how I see the world and how I want to heal it, and not a lot of cold, hard, steel dudes want to do that. So, and you know what I mean? Some dudes just don't give a fuck. Some people just don't care, and I get it. But I live on this earth. I live on this planet. Why not just make it a little bit better? But all right, yeah. Let me end this damn video. Love you guys. See you. Sha, man. Sha. End the video, dude.